Gemini, this is going to be a long formatted reading for you. Let's see what comes up. Guys, if you want a personal reading, check out the description box below. It has my website. My website has all my info. Leave a comment. Holler at your boy if you just want to shoot the shit. Like, share, follow. Follow the Facebook. Follow the Instagram, the TikTok. All the social media, Tumblr, shout out for you old school Tumblr heads. All things run and gun tarot. Share content with loved ones, family, friends, people that you think would dig this. Let's have some fun with it, and let's see what comes out for you, Gemini. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light, highest possible messages for Gemini. Hanged Man, okay. This is Neptune energy, Pisces energy, dreaming phase, dreaming stage, Gemini. Okay, gaining enlightenment about some things, walking away to go find your higher happiness. Okay, not wanting to conform or do things as they've always been done. Okay, Gemini. Eight of Cups is about, the 8 is about new beginnings, abundance. The Cups are about emotionality, as you know. Walking away to go find that happiness. Okay. I'm just looking at the astrological house of Gemini. This reading, does speak in general. If you're not a Gemini, or if you are a Gemini, it speaks to the mind, thinking, communication, siblings, social activity, interests, neighbors, and early education. So feel free to apply this reading in those categories or in general if we get something specific. But a lot of what's coming up right now is dreaming up that dream, dreaming that little dream, Gemini, and walking away to go get it. But walking away from a situation where you feel hamstrung. Okay, so walking away from a situation where you've seen no change. So for those of you who are not Gemini but are just applying it to the astrological appliances, and it's your thinking mind, maybe you've held on to a concept that is just, it leaves you kind of stuck or suspended, or there's nothing to gain from it but everything to lose because of it. It's walking away from this, Gemini, as well. But again, if it is something, if it's to be applied to you yourself, feeling hamstrung, then walking away in general to go find your higher happiness. Salvaging what you can, letting that which has been spilled be spilled because you didn't need it, so into the great abyss it goes, and salvaging what remains with the Two of Cups in the upright. And because of that, able to move forward and able to celebrate and able to see the higher principles of life that are there to celebrate. Okay. It takes a higher vibe to be able to celebrate, Gemini. And you should be proud if you've been able to come to that awareness to select something that makes you happy, to be joyous about life. Okay, that's what I'm seeing here. Very cool. Taurus and Aries energy. Okay, so it's almost as if you're high vibe and you kind of doing the work that you're doing, even if it is the work of walking away, that's going to lead you to this financial kind of groundedness, this financial success in finances and resources with the King of Pentacles in the upright. Another crossroad decision. We just had this for a Taurus. reading, last reading I did. So feel free to look at Taurus's video as well as the All Signs video. A decision between being the emperor, staying in your power, or the chariot in reverse. So it's almost as if you would have stood here in the old way of thinking almost, or operating, or the old way of being, then you just would have been there and you would have made no progress and it would have been the end of your road. But there's a way of changing the frequency of your being, or changing or learning the bigger kind of scope of something, the lesson at hand. That is you being in your power by acquiring some form of grace, of wisdom, of who you really are, Gemini. And realizing that you're not the conditioning, and you're not the limitations, and you're not the one that's supposed to bear this burden right here. Okay? It's not your cross to bear anymore, whether it's a worrisome mind, or a questioning mind, or a doubting mind, or even if it's a physical burden or responsibility for you to be hanging around and waiting. It's not yours anymore. You're not here for that anymore. And so this Two of Swords crossroad decision said that you may very well could have stayed at the same level of thinking or operating, or thinking or believing who you were and what you're supposed to be doing, keeping yourself benched or sidelined. But because you've kind of gained the understanding of your real power, your real knowledge of self, you as just pure awareness before conditioning and before physicality, then you're able to drop the limiting narrative that had no more road to go with the chariot in reverse. This is no longer moving forward. That limiting narrative or way of being or operating, whatever it is for you, that dead-end job or lockdown, quarantine, it had no further road for you. But when you drop the narrative or the fear or whatever the low vibration that kind of saw you seeing this dead end, it's almost as if you're able to kind of keep on furthering yourself and making advance furtherment. I mean, I kind of see this emperor as although he's kind of like sitting here, not moving. It's almost as if his throne is floating further and past anything that this chariot could have done. So it's almost as if you're levitating. So you used to be hamstrung and whatever, and now you're like, well, I'm Peter Pan, motherfucker. Like, I can fly. Like, who do you think I am? Ugh. So hyped for you, Gemini. Yes. This is what we're talking about. This is you realizing who you are, Gemini. This is you saying, like, peace out, bitch. Like, psych, you thought, and you're just like, I'm gonna fly over all of this bullshit. It's like eagles or airplanes that soar over storms and they see the clarity. And that's all it was. You just had to you had it all there, but you just had to turn everything completely upside down for it to make sense. Which I know is counterintuitive, but this is really you, like, freeing yourself from the bullshit. But you're doing it in your own way. You're doing it in your own way. And I think that this is the great caveat of it all. Is this isn't some like patchwork something that you're using to escapism or not look at the ugliness of the reality of something. It's like, no, you've done that, but you realize that if it's going to require effort, if me painting on this blank canvas is going to require effort, and if I am here in this game of life, then I might as well know who I really am and what this really is, and Realize that I'm not all the baggage that I inherited. Realize that I have the power of choice and I could fly over all this BS. And on top of it, I'm still true to who I used to be as well. And I'm still being true to who I used to be. It's just now I have a better understanding of how my mind operates and how what it is to be human operates. Very cool, Gemini, very cool. Yeah, and that's what you're doing. You're focused on happiness and enjoying the process and all that good stuff. Very excited to see what comes for you, Gemini. Things got very kind of, you didn't know what it was going to be, but now you know what it's going to be. It's like that old thinking got you here to the point of liftoff, of flying. Very cool. And that was the only thing left that you had to drop. And you did it successfully. And what you were dropping was that ego narrative of something that you thought was your cross to bear. But when you found out true knowledge of self, which is pure being, pure consciousness before conditioning and programming, which is the same absolute truth that underlies all things that exist and don't exist, then you're like, oh, I have free will. So I'm going to tune my antenna to the highest of highs. I'm going to tune my antenna to happiness, to enjoyment, to fun, to trust, to faith. Now I get to pick what I'm tuning into as opposed to my default settings based on my gender or my conditioning or social bullshit, whatever. Very cool. This is a story that I'm seeing here, Gemini. So I'm totally in love with it. I hope you really got something from this reading. I know I did. Leave a comment below. Feel free to like, share, follow, and holler at your boy, Gemini. Peace.